Sounds like the lyrics to a really sexy song. I'm clicking it now. Not gonna go with me on that one.
I'm just gonna let that one hang out there by itself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how the hell you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing. How you been?
I am so much better than even the last time we spoke.
Okay.
My hips are a little bit stiff. My back is a little stiff, but
Well,
I'm in very little pain. And man, it's been a good fucking day, man. I've really I ate some, which was good, and I'm in a good place for a change.
oh, good.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I have heard that the hips do not lie.
That depends on the lie. I mean, because sometimes they say, "Hey, she's normal," and she turns around, it's got a wiener. I'm just saying. I once walked into Walmart and there was a gorgeous silhouette in front of me, hips and all, and then it turned around and had a beard. Like, God damn it.
Well,
Hips.
if you went to a Diddy party, that probably won't matter. You
That's
just
true.
wasted.
Notice that hips don't lie shit came from a woman, right?
Yeah.
You gonna trust a woman about what lies, really? Come on.
Well, I mean,
come on.
No.
There you go. Fuck. Let's start with the sexism right at the top of the show, because that's where it belongs.
That lures them in. See, they're like, "Oh, sexism."
Yeah. No. What's better? Okay, I need to lay out the show for tonight, and I'm sorry about the way we're doing it, guys, because I realize I put Diddy in the headline and the thumbnail, but we're not talking about Diddy right now. We will get to him. That's going to be later, though, because I want to cover a few other stories, and I have a feeling the Diddy part is going to run long. As long as his sex parties where if you try to escape, he'll beat you and bring you back. And that's not even an accusation. That's on film.
Yeah. Sexism. I'm listening.
But we're not going to be that sexist. We're not going to be beating on women or anything. Well, not
literally, but
not
maybe
literally. Instead, we're going to go Islamophobic. The cartoon on your screen right now upset a lot of Democrats, including the woman, Miss Slotkin, who is running for the Senate here in Michigan, that we talked about the other day, who's abusing the tax system so she doesn't have to pay property taxes, claiming that her non-farm is a farm, which apparently gets you complete exemption from property taxes here in Michigan. But it was a political cartoon that went out of Rashida Tlaib, and there's an exploded pager on her desk, and it says, "Odd, my pager just exploded." And the left has lost their fucking mind over it. This was Islamophobic and Arab phobic. That was a new one for me. I hadn't heard that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Arab phobic and racist.
Of course.
I did not realize Hezbollah was a race, but apparently it is.
Oh, well, we learn something new every time we do a show, Monkey.
I saw that Miss Slotkin said, "This is dangerous."
That's their new favorite buzzword, is dangerous.
It's dangerous. Any criticism of a Democrat is dangerous. The one that really pissed me off was the Attorney General of my state. Realize Tlaib is from my state, so it was all my state actors speaking out on this. She came out and said, "It's wrong to attack her for her religion." Nobody attacked her for her religion. They attacked her for her support of terrorists. She's gone to the Palestinian marches that are around. You know, the ones where they talk about getting rid of all the Jews in Palestine.
See, I'm sorry, but that's where you're wrong, Monkey. Eliminating the Jews is part of their religion.
You're not wrong about that, but it's something that they always try to fucking lie about.
No, of course they're going to lie about it, but they don't want to come out and say, "Well, you kind of got us there." Yeah. So they're just going to be like, "You're a bigot, Nazi, homophobe, Islamophobic, racist, histophobic monster."
This is just annoying. because I'm so tired of any criticism. And look, yes, this is playing up the fact that she supports terrorists, but it's not because she herself is Islamic. Hey, Rashida, I dare you to go practice your kind of Islam in an Islamic country.
Yeah. Show how much you support the gays.
Bitch don't even got her head covered.
Yeah.
Go try that shit.
Who taught her to read?
I don't know. It sure as fuck wasn't, anybody practicing her religion. But they got so bent out of shape. And it amuses me because this is funny as fuck. That is an actual funny cartoon. I saw somebody said, it's not really clever. Not all humor has to be clever.
Yeah.
Some of it's just blunt and in your face. And this is just blunt and in your face.
Yeah. It's still funny. I mean,
yeah.
Lots of cartoons aren't funny.
It's just pointing out that the bitch supports terrorism. I didn't think anybody didn't know that. I thought we all knew. She's been pretty vocal about it. Not to mention, if you go back and look at when she was running and actually got elected to Congress, she seems to be a little bit of a terrorist herself. Remember when they had to drag her out of the one rally, kicking and screaming?
Yeah, it's too bad she didn't get arrested. Real quick though. Sorry, go ahead.
You can't arrest her. She's Islamic, man. That would be Islamophobic.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
they blew up the World Trade Center. They killed 200 Americans in Beirut in 1983.
Yeah.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. I agree this is dangerous. Having a member of America's Congress be a literal terrorist supporter is really dangerous for not only national security and safety, but the world's safety. I agree.
Yeah. National and international safety. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Speaking of national safety, Jack, this video you sent me, I watched most of it and I got annoyed. So let's annoy everybody along with us, shall we?
In San Diego.
This is the chief border patrol agent at one time. He's former now.
Yeah.
Testifying in front of Congress. And I do want to say there is one good bright spot for the current administration, and we'll get to it when we hear it.
They're ending?
No.
Oh.
In San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year.
I wish you would have gave the numbers for the final 2 years, but they went from 10 to 100. That's a 10-fold increase. That's 1,000% increase. And none to see here. And they're specifically talking about, terrorists. Not to worry about, Jack. But as long as Hollywood doesn't have to raise their own kids or cut their own garden, isn't it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, just ask Hollywood.
Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic. Deport all 10 million plus illegals into Shark Tanks.
Oh, I'm down with that.
He means the television show, YouTube.
Yeah. Mark Cuban deal with them. He
wants them all to become entrepreneurs. All right.
These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests.
Well, that seems weird.
Little confusing.
He was the chief border patrol agent, and he wasn't allowed to talk about reality.
What is reality? I mean, these people that can't identify gender based on a visual inspection. So, you really think they have reality issues?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that.
Oh, by the way, I have a slight cold, so I will be muting myself to blow my nose occasionally.
Fair enough.
As a heads up,
we just need to try not to do that with my coughing fits. We got to space them out a little bit. All right.
Yeah. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border. Fentanyl is another issue. The San Diego area sees between 80 and 90% of the methamphetamine and fentanyl seizures annually for our entire country. With little enforcement at the border, these drugs were coming through in mass. During my last year in San Diego, the price for a single pill of fentanyl, for example, went from $10 to 25 cents.
And there it is. Old Buddha, thank you. Good morning. ONG Hots. Am I reading that right? I changed my name, LOL. Well, thank you for the donation, and you just added old to it, right? I'm not losing my mind here.
I don't know. Well,
Cryptic,
you might be losing your mind, but that could be totally unrelated to what's going on here.
That is true. Cryptic, thank you. I came here legally. They need to be deported. Make deportation great again. I agree. Exactly, yep. Peter gets it. This guy just told us fentanyl used to cost $10 a pill, and it is down to 25 cents. Look at how Kamala and Biden have lowered drug costs.
Yeah, they said they were going to do that.
Yeah, and I don't think they get enough credit for how they've driven down the price of fentanyl.
It's true.
That is an amazing decrease, and I know that I appreciate Kamala and Joe Biden making fentanyl cheaper to where even children can afford it.
Well, they're trying to make George Floyd great again. I have an idea. Cryptic gave me an idea. What if we get all the legal immigrants as part of their citizenship test? We can like fast track them if they go and bounty hunt illegals for us.
There's been talk that's one of the you got to be careful with that talk. All seriousness, because that's what the Democrats are saying is going to happen. Is that you're going to have vigilantes roaming to collect bounties on these guys?
Look, I can dream all I want, but no, I say we specifically only allow illegal immigrants to do it.
I would be 100. Look, I don't have a problem with them bounty hunting as long as people are, being as kind as they can be. Bounty hunting, getting these shitbags out of our country. But
yeah, bounty hunters are kind of out of control to begin with. So
it's one of the talking points of, oh my God, they're not going to be able to collect them all. So they're going to have to use bounty hunters. Okay, I'm fine with that.
No, we get the military to do it.
I'm all right with it. Dark Conservatarian, thank you. Got my paycheck today. So here's some money. I appreciate it. Also shilling that I got a clip channel called Americana Project, which includes clips of Monkey in the Morning, y'all. That is true. That is true.
Nice.
Yeah, we finally made it, Jack. We're on a clip channel.
Cool.
All right, back to Baldy here.
Soon we'll be on the hit pieces.
Indeed.
To make matters worse, during 2000.
We'll have our own scandal because my DMs will come out and they'll go, wow, he is boring as fuck.
They'll have some picture of me wearing pajama pants, watering my lawn or something. And they'll be like, this is him right here, this fat retard.
Yep.
That's good. 2022 and 23, I had to shut down San Diego traffic checkpoints, which are critical for drug interdiction, because the resources had been diverted to the process and release mission. The large numbers.
The process and release mission he's talking about is where they come in and they're like, yeah, you're here. Go away and come back on February 30th. We won't even care.
Yeah.
That's what our enforcement has been changed. We need more money. No, you just need to stop letting the illegals in the first place. Like, hey, where are you from? El Salvador. We don't care. Get out. There you go. So.
Also had and still have a negative impact on the San Diego community. I had to release illegal aliens by the hundreds each day into communities who could not support them. To quiet the problem, 2 flights a week were.
Yeah, like Springfield and so many other places. There's another town. What's the other town that's got just overrun with Haitians?
Oh, it was someplace in Alabama.
Yeah. But don't worry, guys. They're totally not trying to skew demographics. And no, I'm not saying white replacement. I'm actually talking about liberal versus conservative there.
Yeah, because most of the people in Springfield that are being displaced are black, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a heavily black town.
The guy who got so much attention for saying that they were killing ducks was a black man.
Yeah. Yeah. He
And
was kind of pissed about the whole thing.
Like these fucking racists. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And not that it matters, but not a light-skinned black man. So they can't even claim colorism on this one.
Yeah. He was a heavily chocolate man.
Yes, he was. Or is, actually, because as far as I know, he's still around.
Well, I don't know. The Haitians might have eaten him.
He was in a video with a guy. They just went and were asking the Springfield DMV how these Haitians are getting their driver's licenses so quick, which nobody will talk about on the record.
Nope. You know they're not going to. Real quick, though. Thank you, Cryptic. I want to deport my own family if they came here illegally. F them all. Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. Thank you, Evolved Potato. My government imports 500,000 people yearly. Australia's population in 2022 is 26 million. So our population increases by 4% yearly. And that's only officially. We don't really know how many people came in as, quote, tourists and never left.
Yep. It's happening everywhere. I'm not saying America doesn't need any immigration, because we probably do, especially with our growth rates and stuff. But it needs to be legal and it needs to be minimal.
Yeah. We have specific jobs that need filled, not just randos.
And that's what the H-1B1 visas were supposed to be for, was for specific jobs that we're not filling these. And we're not. We're using them to replace Disney employees, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Not because Disney couldn't get people there. Literally replace people who already had jobs. Dangerous, thank you. Speaking of hit pieces, did you hear Matt finally got one by none other than Ninja Mary Poppin Janowski? I don't even know who that is. At least, I don't know who that is.
She's a piece of shit. She's written hit pieces on other people.
No. At least he didn't get called the others this time. He actually got named. No, I didn't see that. And vetted first. Oh, yes, definitely, Mando. The people who come in need to be vetted. And if we were only bringing in the 500,000 people a year, look, we have 330 million. 500,000 is not a big deal. Or even say 250,000. It will be much easier to do. And instead, we're just like, yeah, bring everybody across that southern border. Just let them walk through. No big deal. You know her, not by name. Not by name.
Anyway. You'd know her if you saw her. We've talked about her before.
Jankowitz, huh?
Yeah.
Were provided from San Diego to Texas. These flights simply brought aliens that would have been released in San Diego over to Texas. Each flight cost approximately $150,000. This was the administration's way to try and quiet the border-wide crisis.
There you go. Yeah. Like, we have this crisis that's so bad, we're actually having to shut down this checkpoint. I know. Ship them to Texas. Now, why Texas? Why not somewhere like, I don't know, Montana? Probably because you'd have to ship an awful lot of illegals to Montana to change their political demographics. Yeah, this is what your administration's been doing for 4 fucking years now. 4 years, Jack.
Yep.
No, we totally secured the border. We did all the good stuff. Speaking of securing the border, you know, I didn't even realize this, Jack, but that plays right into the next clip that you sent me.
Oh, how convenient.
Because we're going to be watching Kamala discussing Haitians with Oprah fucking Winfrey, which will eventually lead back into the Sean P. Diddy Combs shit.
Indeed.
Because if there's one thing Oprah's known for, it's hanging around degenerates that the entirety of the industry knows are degenerates.
Yeah.
That and telling women to leave their husbands.
Yeah, well, she's not a good person, so.
Look, with the kind of men she hangs out with, I understand why she stayed single her whole life. I would be skeptical of men if I was her too, but that's because she hangs out with rapists and murderers and degenerate scumfucks.
Well, she had some dude,
you know,
I forget his name though.
Stedman,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't care.
She ain't putting no ring on that finger. because occasionally she's got to go down on Gayle King.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like you do.
Anyhow, I have not seen this clip, ladies and gentlemen. I started to watch it before the show when Jack sent it to me, and I made it about 10 seconds. We're like, nope, fuck this. We got to do this live because the way Oprah starts this pissed me off. Now, this is from a big to-do that they had. And can I just point out, they have this Kamala sits down with Oprah, and they bring on all these stars. I know I saw, what's her name? Meryl Streep and Julia Roberts. You know what? They didn't bring on, like, Joe who works at the Burger Hut. You ever notice every time they're trying to sell Kamala to you, it's with rich and famous people?
Yeah, it's celebrities. Now the audience gets to ask some questions, but they're pre-vetted, and they have to see, like, look, these celebrities endorse me, Taylor Swift and Lil Jon and John Legend. Who fucking cares about what these retards say? What are you, 12?
Dangerous, are you really suggesting me misreading a name has something to do with my glasses? I didn't realize you were new to the show. Anyhow.
He may have forgotten.
Having to deal with this lie that has endangered the lives of Haitian people in any...
That's as far as I got. I said 10 seconds. I was close. It was 7. The lie that endangers the lives of Haitians. I'm sure. Lucretia, we'll get there in 1 second. I do see that. I already know where the rest of that question's headed. But the bullshit setup to it, the danger, the Haitians, he said they eat cats. Oh my God. Get fucked, lady.
Well, there are 911 recordings about people saying they're eating cats.
Well, the city manager there in Springfield, when I have not heard anything about this. What are y'all talking about? There's video of him from back in fucking March where somebody brings this up at a city council meeting, and he says, and I quote, "I've heard those reports too."
Yeah, but he's a politician and he's gonna backpedal like a motherfucker because he's probably making money on the back end.
Probably, yeah. Okay, so where was that? I want to make sure I say the name right. Lucretia, am I even close on pronouncing that correctly? It's a birthday song.
Oh,
it's Lucretia's birthday.
Yay!
And this one's for you, and a 1. I really should wait and make sure the name is right, but I'm gonna be honest. I think it's funnier if it's not.
Lucretia sounds right. That's a real name.
Lucretia, this one's for you, and a 1, and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear Lucretia.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday. Hope you have a great one or had a great one. Wait, I said it right? Holy shit. Everybody, go buy a lotto ticket. You heard me say a name correctly. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one. Really, really do. All right, let's get back to this stupid nonsense. Oh, yeah, we never even did discuss this. Remember, the dangerousness to the Haitians there was the bomb threats, which turns out were all hoaxes. Shock.
All from foreign countries.
Coming from foreign countries.
And Dwayne won't tell us where they're from because, might put somebody in danger or some bullshit.
I wonder if it's coming from Haiti. Yeah.
It's probably like Sweden or some shit. Some teenagers like, yeah, they're very dangerous, yeah.
Yes. All right. Fuck, I don't want to listen anymore. That alone, that first 7 seconds. Oprah, from the bottom of my heart, get fucked.
Everybody who looks Haitian, everybody in a...
I'm sorry. Did she just say it was dangerous to everybody who looks Haitian?
Yes, which implies, black people. That's what she's getting at. It's dangerous for all black people. You know who's making a lot of the complaints? Black people.
I don't think I could pick a Haitian out of a lineup.
If you got a smell of them, maybe.
I mean, if you're talking about somewhere like Sierra Leone or Nigeria, and you put somebody from there with a bunch of Black Americans, I might be able to pick it out on pigmentation because they tend to be darker.
Maybe.
But otherwise, I couldn't. I'd just be like, they're Black. And for me, that's racist. I couldn't do it with white people either, okay?
Yeah, unless you have a very distinct accent or something.
Unless you have curly red hair and freckles or a giant nose, I don't know where you're from, even as a white person. I could not look at you and go, "Oh, he looks Russian."
Well, if you see
looks
red
white
hair, you're like, that's a shape-shifting witch.
Yeah, and if they got a big nose, it's an Italian or a Jew.
Yeah.
And
is it a Roman nose or is it a money nose?
What other telltale marks are there? That's why it's so annoying when they're like, you fucking racist white people. You think all Asians look alike? They do. Just like all white people look alike and all Black people look alike.
Now, I can tell some Asians apart. Like Vietnamese tend to have
you can do it by their haircut. Stop it.
No, I do it because I have, sexual interest in them.
Oh, anyway. Yeah, lots of people point out you and your. I love gingers. What is wrong with you, Ebony? I have gingers in my family that I don't love. What are you talking about?
Hear that, Frosted?
Nobody loves ginger. Gingers don't love gingers. I'm just saying. They're the only
gingers don't attack each other though, because they don't have souls to steal.
They attack themselves. They hate crime themselves and then don't report it.
Wow.
That's a fact. They go out in the sun, Jack, and they know it's bad for them.
That's true. Some of them are day walkers, but you got to keep an eye on them.
Y'all are mean. Oh, please. I am a day walker. When my hair had color to it, my beard was red. I am freckled all over. And it was just the grace of whatever gods exist that I got blonde hair instead of red hair on top. Just saying.
I'm mostly gray now.
The hair on top, I mean, there is a lot of gray in it, but you can still see tons of color. My hair's always looked like it's naturally highlighted. Like I went and spent a whole bunch of money at the salons like they did in the 90s. Like, give me 14 different shades of blonde. I want to look natural.
Your hair really is gay.
My beard though is just pure fucking white now. Anyhow,
America feels for that. And everybody in America, left, right, middle, has concerns about immigration. Yeah. And I'm told that Justin, where are you in the audience? Justin.
Hello.
You start out a question where you're setting up a question about people being concerned about immigration with making sure we know that if you question Haitian migrants, that it's racist and you're putting people in danger.
Yes.
I'm glad to see that this is a completely independent and open-minded interview.
Cannibal brings up a really good point. Cannibalistic Wizard. He said the mayor owns the dog shelter, the animal shelter. So yeah, the mayor's making money off of them somehow.
Evolved Potato, thank you. Gingers are the ugly ones and redheads are the good-looking ones. This is a fact. There's some cute gingers out there.
No, there's cute redheads. You get them confused.
No. There's gingers out there, and I admit that it's rare, but I'd be like, I would fuck the freckles off her.
No, those are the souls that she's consumed. You can't trust that.
I didn't say I trusted her. I said I'd bang her.
Oh, fair.
She's a woman. I'm not trusting her anyway. The only women that I trust are in my family, and even then, I'm a little hesitant. Love you, kiddo, if you're listening. All right, where are we at?
audience.
Hello, Madam Vice President.
You live in Michigan.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't you love saying hello, Madam Vice
I
President?
do. I do.
Yeah, there was a part of this where Meryl Streep comes on and she said, "Oh, I get to talk to President Harris." Oops, I totally didn't mean to say president.
Whoopsie poopsie.
Whoopsie. It was so sad. Don't you just love saying vice president? You mean the thing we've all said for the last 4 years because she's been the vice president? Don't you just love saying it? Meryl Streep also acted like she'd never be allowed at the White House, like she was during the Obama administration. They all acted like, oh my God, I get to talk to her. You're celebrities, and she's a Democrat, a high-ranking Democrat. She'll have you at her fucking rallies. Why are you acting like she's so exclusive to you? I hate these people. We haven't even got to the question yet, so let's find out what the question was.
What's your question? It's an immigration question.
Question for you is, when you become president, what would be your specific steps? Yeah, of course. What would be your specific steps to strengthening the border?
So it's a wonderful and important question.
Oh, I don't know when that shit started. I don't know who decided you have to thank people for questions, but please, for the love of fuck, stop doing it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that question. Fuck right off. They're there to ask questions. I'm not wrong on that, right? Unless she means thank you for not asking me a real question that I'd have to answer in any kind of meaningful way. But otherwise, stall tactics. Faithless, it's also, you're not wrong, especially with Kamala, but it was really done a lot in debates. And what was it? Maybe the Clinton debates where it really starts. And it became this thing where it's supposed to be a good look to thank him for the question.
Yeah, Ed BC's probably right. They make him do it in college.
It's fucking stupid. Thank you for that. Fuck you. If somebody thanked me for a question, I would. That's how it ends. Fuck you. Answer the question.
Stop stalling.
My background was as a prosecutor, and I was also the elected attorney general for 2 terms of a border state.
It's amazing to me that she has to point out the elected attorney. By the way, yeah, that's how they're chosen there, is the elected. All you're doing is bringing attention, in my eyes, to the fact that you aren't the elected nominee here.
Okay, fact.
So this is not a theoretical issue for me. This is something. The question is theoretical. What are you going to do? This isn't a theoretical issue for me.
Oh, the whole program was like this, where there's just a lot of word salad.
How is the theoretical question not theoretical?
Well, see, Monkey, a theory in theoretical, that's the root word, and a theory is something that we come up with.
This is what dumb people do. They throw in words that are 50 cents when it should be a 10-cent answer.
Yep.
Look how smart I said theoretical. That was on my toilet paper this morning.
Yeah. I'm telling you, she's a smart, dumb person.
I disagree. I think she's just dumb.
No, she is a dumb person, but she's the smartest one in her friend circle.
Oh, sure. So I get you. Yeah.
Tell her that she's smart, and she's like, I'm smart. So she uses these big words to try and look smart.
Tim, thank you. A couple of G's, an R and an E, an I and an N. Just 6 little letters all jumbled together have caused damage that we may never mend. So listen to me if you care for your health. Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger. Fair enough. Shut up, ginger.
Anyway. That's their word, apparently. We were saying ginger with a soft A as opposed to a hard R.
Yes.
Thing I've actually worked on.
Okay.
I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations.
This isn't about Tim Minchin. Okay, thank you. I didn't say the last name. And I often do that. If you guys donate, I read part of the name. If you want the whole name said, just let me know.
Sometimes if they put a space, the second word won't show up. So you have to put your name as like one word.
Well, it did show up. It's just if that's like a reference to somebody, I don't get the reference. If I get the reference, I read the whole thing. But usually, I mean, if it's, Bob Allen, I'm just thinking Bob probably doesn't need me to say Allen. He knows who he is.
Does he?
Excuse me. You prosecuting. Okay, this is important. You prosecuting laws you didn't put in place and didn't fight for doesn't mean shit, except for maybe you kind of did your job a little bit. What are you going to do different than what's right now? Because we have a problem right now, not when you were Attorney General. That was a problem that you have exacerbated to a ridiculous level. I remember. Anyhow. Wasn't calling you. I'm like, no, but there are times that I do that, and when you said that, I'm like, I wonder if there's times people are upset that I don't read out the whole name.
For the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I take very seriously the importance of...
Stop right there. Stop. Yes, the trafficking of drugs, humans, and guns is a bad thing. But that's not the only problem. Millions of people are pouring across the border. Many without drugs, many on their own accord, and without guns with them.
Well, in either case, she still hasn't said what she's going to do.
Sure.
She's just talked about her record.
And her record has nothing to do with the question.
That's all she's got, monkey.
I'm so tired of her touting. Transnational corporations who were funneling people into human trafficking, you guys. Most of what we're talking about is not human trafficking. The human trafficking across the southern border, most of it is voluntary. They're paying people to traffic them across the border, not being stolen for sex work. You're thinking of your friend Diddy.
Having a secure border and ensuring the safety of the American people. Sadly, where we are now can be traced most recently back to the fact that when the United States Congress, members of the Congress, including...
She's not.
Yeah, just wait.
All right.
Some of the most conservative Republicans came up with a border security bill.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what that border security bill would have done. It
wouldn't have done a fucking thing that Biden couldn't have done with his fucking pen, and he then did do. Fuck you, you lying whore. 2, the issue that we're having is not due to a goddamn bill that was in response to the shit that's happening. How the fuck are you going to go, the problem we're having right now, the millions of people pouring over the border? Yeah, we're having that problem because we didn't have a solution to the problem. And the solution was because of the problem. So it's those fucking it's Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump. That's why.
Trump.
Dangerous. Thank you. Trump said Haitians eat cats and dogs, and then there were bomb threats. Am I the only one that doesn't get that link? Also, AG prosecutor is different to president. What will you do as president? Yeah. And no, you will notice this, and check me on this. Anytime that there's some liberal thing that Democrats are like, this is our champion moment, there will always be bomb threats against it, that they're like, those damn Republicans are. We had it with BLM. We had it with the Boston Children's Hospital. That is their thing. We had it with even Ilhan Omar. If you criticize the left, suddenly there are bomb threats. Why? I don't know. It's weird, though. It's weird. It's never been a bombing. Not one of them has actually led to a bombing, but they always have bomb threats. To the point you even had a BLM rally where nobody gave a shit. So the BLM member at the rally left the rally, went into her college library and sent a bomb threat because she knew it would get news. It's a real thing. Look it up. Anyway, so the problem we're having right now is because of a bill that didn't get passed that was in response to the problem we have now.
To put 1,500 more border agents at the border.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, those border agents are working around the clock. It would have just been about giving them some support and relief.
You could do that if you took away. We just watched the bald guy tell us that resources were being diverted over to letting people into the country. Maybe if we didn't do that, we were just like, no, at the border, then they could have those resources for hiring those 1,500 agents. No. We need somebody there to get Jamal's name on the way through. I didn't want to be racist and say Jesus, so I went more likely not Hispanic. Because I've been told don't be racist.
Which is probably why the border agents actually endorsed the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl. And I'm looking at people from all over the country here. So I don't need to tell the folks who are watching this what fentanyl has done to families, to kids.
Why don't you tell them what illegals have done to families and kids? Don't want to have that discussion? You don't want to talk about a 12-year-old getting raped or 13-year-old getting murdered? No? We got to talk about that fentanyl. I'm not saying fentanyl is not a problem and doesn't need to be talked about, but once again, there's more to the problem than just drugs coming over. It's all the people coming over. If fentanyl never entered the country again, you still have people coming over from violent gangs who are raping and killing people. But y'all know what fentanyl does, right? It was on the news last night.
In our country, and the need to take seriously stemming the flow coming into our country and addressing that extraordinary and tragic issue in terms of its effect.
Did Biden signing the executive order, which he didn't have to do, saying that he could close down the border, did that help or not? Because the Biden administration points to that to say, look, we've done a lot to fight this shit. Which, by the way, was the only real enforcement that the bill contained. I need them to make up my mind for me. Yet they left it open. Hey, faithless. Hate facts.
The bill would have allowed us to have more resources to prosecute transnational criminal organizations.
No, it wouldn't.
And it would have.
No, it wouldn't. What the fuck are you talking about? Did you not read the bill? Oh, God.
Been part of the solution. And Donald Trump called up those folks and said, don't put that bill on the floor for a vote.
Okay. As bullshit as their answer is, right? His question was, what will you do? All she had to do was say, yeah, the bill that got killed, I will reintroduce that and get it pushed through Congress. That's the answer to what you would do if this is your fucking retarded take. And instead, it's like, Donald Trump is a douchebag. That's what I would do. Christ.
Vote. He blocked the bill. And you know why?
No, he didn't.
Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
So Donald Trump is more powerful out of any kind of office than you are in it. But you're going to get shit done. Yeah, sure. Why not?
And he
What are these retards clapping
put
for?
his personal political security before border security.
Bitch, you've been the vice president for 3.5 years. What have you done? Why did it take 3.5 years for you guys to get that goddamn bill even into the Senate? We're totally from these conservatives. They put the and Donald Trump. Why did it take that long? None of these fucking assholes asked this question. And I do think I've seen right after this. The only clips I've seen from this, I watched Megyn Kelly's show earlier and half-ass paid attention to it. So I saw some and Oprah redirect. So are you going to pass that bill? Will you sign that bill? How about why did it take so long? And why did it need to be Republicans in the Democrat-controlled Senate to come up with the most secure border bill in history? You guys run the fucking place. Why has there been none since? Why do all your border bills allow untold numbers, and literally untold, because remember, they had a minimum requirement, not a maximum. Why do they all allow untold illegals into the country? That damn Donald Trump. Dangerous, thank you. I'm old enough to remember that border agents were evil bastards who were apparently whipping Haitians. But it's very important to Biden Harris that we hire more evil Haitian whippers. The fuck? Look, man, I don't know. They're now, notice how she talked about these guys are working around the clock. They're working. Do you guys realize how much they're doing for you? Beating Haitians. That's what you told me they did.
Those were Venezuelans specifically.
No, those were Haitians.
Oh, they were Haitians?
Those were Haitians, yes.
Well, maybe the horses were scared of them. They're going to eat us. Hit them, Bill.
No, that was those. They were hate. Remember, because it was racist because they were whipping black people. Yeah, that was Haitians.
Yeah, with those soft leather horse reins that hurt.
That they never hit them with. Yeah. Anyhow.
Because understand, even in the intervening months, what that bill would have done to give support to folks who care about this issue. And this again gets to the point about what does leadership really look like? And is it about...
You just told us that Donald Trump out of power was able to do something you couldn't with power.
Yeah.
What does leadership look like? Because that doesn't sound like leadership to me.
You, or is it about the people?
Right.
Is it about running on problems or fixing problems? My work and my career has always been about saying, let's fix problems.
Willie Brown had a boner and she fixed it.
Yeah.
That's what her whole career has been about.
He needed that relief. Thankfully, she was there.
Let's address the needs because we know it's within our capacity to do that.
So to answer Justin's question, now that that bill has gone and hasn't passed, will you reintroduce that?
Absolutely. And when I am elected president of the United States, I will make sure that bill gets to my desk.
You can't, because you still need 60 members to close down debate on any bill. God, that was annoying as shit. And it is, hey, look, I will give Oprah just a tiny bit of credit for, forcing her to actually answer the fucking question. But the question's nonsensical. The real follow-up to that is, why did it take so long? And why was it after that failed that the thing that needs done, closing the border, that's what'll help? Why was that not?
That's racist.
Yeah, why was that not done until afterwards? Did Donald Trump keep you from doing that for 3.5 years?
Yeah, he was standing out there running defense like a football player. You're like, no, Kamala. No, you can't do that.
Thank you, Circuit Zero says, happy to see you live, even though I am 30 minutes behind. Happy to have you see us, even though you're 30 minutes behind.
Yeah. Hey, Cirque.
Excuse me, I'm still coughing quite a bit. All right, Jack. So Donald Trump was on with Gutfeld the other day, and I don't know if you watched the interview. It was a really humanizing interview with Trump.
Yeah, it was a good interview. He's very good at that off-the-cuff stuff. Did you want to watch the other clip from this?
Oh, I didn't know there was another one.
Oh, yeah. There's one more.
Not really. because we're almost an hour into the show.
that's fair. No, that's fine.
Save it for tomorrow because I may eventually watch that whole thing on show.
I would. God, it was painful.
Yeah,
Thank you,
but that's
Zero, for the
a lot of fun.
No, it wasn't. Thank you, Circus Zero, for the generous donation. Appreciate it, man. He says, "Hi, Jack. Hi, sir. Hope you're doing well, man."
I watched the Gutfeld. I always want to say Field. It's Gutfeld interview, and I was listening to it as I was just doing other stuff, and there's one part that jumped out at me that I don't see people talking about, and I think it's really important.
The UFO one.
Why are you gonna ruin it like that?
Oh, I didn't think you would actually play that.
So Jack kind of spoiled it, but
sorry, I didn't think you were actually going to play that clip.
Well, to me, it's look. The rest of it is an interesting thing, but there's nothing really to learn there. But his answer to this is very interesting.
Yes, isn't it?
All right.
Can I say for the record, that's still bang Cat Timp.
Is that the chick who asked the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cute. So, by the way, this does start just a little before her question because she actually starts asking her question as he's talking. So, I put it here on purpose.
Well, that's like paramount. Can I please ask a question just because I'm never going to be allowed in a room with the president again?
Sure.
Now, and this part is true, unlike, those celebrities pretending that I love that these line up like that. These celebrities pretending like I could never be near a Democrat president. Yeah, right. It's not like the Obama administration wasn't known for their lavish Hollywood parties.
Yeah, right.
But anyway.
Are there aliens at Area 51?
I'll tell you, it's a funny thing because I think that might be a question that I get more than any question. It is the craziest thing. So we have that so-called area they consider like a sacred area. Mm-hmm. And I will say this, I don't think I'm a believer, but I've interviewed pilots that look, I like Tom Cruise, but better than Tom Cruise. the blonde crew cuts, the whole, and this, yes, sir. And they were in the Oval Office, 3 or 4 pilots. These are not people that make up stories. They said, all I know, sir, is there was a round object that was going 4 times faster than my F-22, which is a very fast plane. And it wasn't, it shouldn't have been. It was round, sir. They have seen, 4 or 5 guys I've interviewed, solid people, great pilots for the U.S. Air Force, etc. They've seen things that they cannot explain.
Oh. Isn't that an interesting answer to, are there aliens at Area 51?
It's a little bit of a dodge because he probably can't admit, well, there's probably no aliens at Area 51 anymore. They moved them to Site R. But he is saying that there are pilots that have come to him and straight up told him they've seen some stuff in the sky they can't explain. Highly trained American Air Force pilots.
Well, did they talk to Thunderfoot about whether or not it was a duck?
I don't know, but if it's going that fast, that is a super fucking duck, and we need to recruit him for the military because those guys are talking multiple Mach speed.
I don't think he knows himself. Yeah, notice he didn't say I've been there and no, there's nothing there, or I've been there and I can't really say. Just like, I don't know if I don't think I'm a believer, but I've talked to these guys. It's a total dodge of the question.
Yeah, but it's not a denial either.
No.
In fact, it's as close as you're going to get to disclosure, guys.
Yes.
That it's a soft yes, there are aliens, but they're probably not at that location. I don't think they're at Wright-Patterson either. They moved them a long time ago so that nobody could break in and find them.
Yeah. Anyway, Thunderfoot, haven't heard about him in years now. Well, the last time I heard about him, other than the that video I watched from the Gamer from Mars the other day, was over the alien footage that came out. And notice I said alien and I meant it because we don't know what the fuck it is. It is alien to us. And his excuse for why it couldn't be anything extraterrestrial, I'm not kidding, is because they were clearly ducks. And what people weren't getting is that if you fly really fast and you film ducks, it's going to look like the ducks are moving that fast. Problem was, it was going faster than the planes and keeping up.
Yeah, and you're not talking about Joe Blow who just got his pilot's license.
No.
These are trained observers who are supposed to be looking for like bogeys hot on their tail. They're supposed to be looking for things that are moving quick. And they're saying, I've never seen this before. What is this?
And look, I'm not saying it's extraterrestrials.
No, but it's unidentified.
It's extraterrestrials.
It's flying, and it's an object. It's totally aliens. Or Hollow Earth, I don't know.
Totally aliens. But we don't even have to go that far to look at it and go, there's something we've never seen there.
Yeah.
But instead, that dumbass motherfucker, Thunderfoot, like, nah, man, it's just ducks. Guy's a fucking retard. Anyhow.
That's as stupid as the swamp gas answer was. And that was from Michigan.
Yeah, it really is.
By the way. That was a site. J. Allen Hynek, the guy that coined the swamp gas thing, he eventually became a believer and said, no, there's too many things too many sightings that don't make sense with the excuses we're giving. And he jokingly said swamp gas because the sighting was in Michigan in like the winter. So that was meant as like an offhanded joke, and the Project Blue Book just ran with it.
All right. Now we're going to move along. And ladies and gentlemen, look, this is not a children's show. But if you do let your children watch the show, now is the time to send them off to play.
Yes, because they've already learned about the alien disclosure and that aliens are totally real. So they should probably go play Army Men for the upcoming alien invasion, because it's going to get weird, guys.
Alex Jones put out a picture today of him with his daughter. They had been painting together.
Oh, yeah.
It was a cute little humanizing moment for Alex.
Yeah.
But all it did is make me miss my granddaughters, because we've been painting together forever. It is one of their favorite activities. We paint all the time. And it just made me miss them. Like, oh, I want to sit down. We make a mess. It's fun, and it entertains them for hours.
Yeah.
Little kids like to paint.
Can I say that picture Alex painted was actually pretty cool looking?
It really was. It was an exploding volcano.
I would hang up an Alex Jones original on my wall.
Dangerous, thank you. Running on problems versus fixing them. Trump met with Ice-T before the election about helping the black community. Biden said, I don't want to talk until after the election, just saying. Actually, it was Ice Cube, wasn't it?
No, I don't know.
Ice-T is the one that's an actor now on TV, and Ice Cube does like Friday in them.
Shitty movies.
Yeah. Yeah. So the reason I said to send children away is because now it's time to talk about Diddy. And,
what? Diddy didn't do nothing.
Diddy did some shit. Diddy did some really bad shit. And I thought we could go through some of the indictment, Jack.
Yay.
I don't want to read the actual charges, which basically are prostitution, forced prostitution,
racketeering.
Coercion, racketeering. Yeah, it's some pretty horrible stuff, but I thought it would be more interesting to read the means and methods of the enterprise.
Ooh,
because
sexy.
Yeah. Among the means and methods used by Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love. Now, if that shows up again in this, we're just going to shorten that to either Sean or P. Diddy. The reason being, if you read through the whole indictment, especially the charges section, they list that whole thing every time.
Oh, yeah. Some poor asshole had to cut and paste that every single time.
Every goddamn time. All right. The defendant and other members associated with the Combs enterprise, that's what they're calling it, Jack.
Indeed.
Conducted and participated in the conduct of the affairs of the Combs enterprise, included the following. Combs and other members of the enterprise wielded the power and prestige of Combs's role as the Combs business to initiate, threaten, and lure female victims into Combs' orbit. Now, there's a lot of speculation out there about underage people.
Indeed.
That is not in the indictment. I'm not saying it won't come out eventually, that there won't be an update to the indictment. But this indictment basically is all about grown-ass adults, not Justin Bieber. You think Justin Bieber will be hounded the way that Macaulay Culkin was?
Yeah, he's basically like Bubbles the chimp here. So, do you think they banged Justin in his boy band booty?
I have no doubt that P. Diddy knows what Justin tastes like. I'm just saying. There's like literally no evidence against Michael Jackson, and seriously, even to this day, if Macaulay Culkin goes into public where he has denied it repeatedly, been emphatic, went to court and said this shit didn't happen, they won't ask Justin shit about this. He isn't already. Who? Anyway, where are we? Female victims into Combs' orbit. I should also point out that part of their proof does include the video that I think most of us have seen. I did not realize at the time that I watched that video, though, that he was dragging her back into one of his sex parties. Did you know that?
No, I was unaware that that's what. I mean, the rumor had been around for a while that he actually, like, I didn't know the video actually existed for a long time, but I never heard that it was a party that she was being dragged back into. Just it was like a hotel room or something.
Yeah, it was a hotel room where they were having what they called freakouts, which is their way of saying degenerate orgy.
Or freak off? Freak out? What's it
called? Freak out. Yeah.
Freak out.
And what's really funny or disturbing is there's a video from years and years and years ago where Combs is on with Conan O'Brien describing this shit.
Well, there's also that video of Dr. Dre on one of the night shows talking about how somebody stole a videotape and he was going to offer a ton of money to get it back.
Freak off. Okay, I'm sorry. Freak off is what they called it.
Freak off.
Well,
freak on.
In this video with Conan, he's explaining how you have the freak offs. And what they do, this is his words, not mine. This came from Diddy, is that you have to give them lots of alcohol. You have to turn up the heat, and not for the reasons you would think, like that way they take off their clothes. You got to make it hot in there because of how it interacts with the alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
And that you need to lock the doors.
Sounds a lot like coercion and abduction.
I'm watching this and I'm like, how do these people over and over again go on to these talk shows, tell everybody what a fucking degenerate they are, what criminal activity they're engaged in, and then nobody says shit until an indictment drops?
I'm telling you, man, they're protecting their careers because degenerates run Hollywood.
And that's fine. But why? Because 50 Cent is out there now talking all kinds of shit about P. Diddy. All you're telling me by, telling me that you knew all along is that you let it happen all along. Why are you even opening your mouth?
Because it's safe to now. They don't have to worry about self-preservation. Because that's all celebrities care about themselves.
But see, I don't understand how that's self-preservation. I don't understand how, I was cool with child, or in this case, female abuse for decades.
Oh, nobody will ever hold that against them, though.
I know. Why not?
I don't know. Because everybody in Hollywood's a fucking pervert of some kind. So even when they're on with like Kimmel, he's probably a piece of shit too.
We saw this same shit when the Weinstein stuff came out.
Yeah.
Now, in fairness to some of the people in the Weinstein thing, they were calling it out years and years in advance and nobody would pay attention. But most people just kept their fucking mouth shut, and then it all comes, oh yeah, I heard all about that. And you didn't say shit. Why? That doesn't make you a good person to, after they get busted for, oh yeah, I knew. That makes you a degenerate shitbag.
Yep.
Anyway, where are we? Often under the pretense of romantic relations. This sounds very Taytonian. Sorry.
Nice.
Wait, somebody who went out there and publicly bragged about the laws they were breaking? Weird. Anyway, Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to as, among other things, freak-offs. Freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. Who was it? Wasn't it Cat Williams who came out not long ago and said that a lot of people are famous right now because people have videos of them being gay?
Yeah.
And yeah, the entirety of the media went, shh, Cat, shut up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cat, shh. Don't talk about that.
Don't tell our secrets.
In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the assistance of members and associates of the Combs Enterprises, transported and caused to be transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally. Whoopsie.
Oops.
Cat said it in January 2024 at Club Shay Shay. Yeah. I remember when he said all that stuff, and it didn't get as much press as it really should have, but it probably led to what we're seeing right now.
There's some federal agent in the room going, huh, I'll write that down for later.
Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasted multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. I'm so confused by the term commercial sex worker.
Oh, they're commercials.
Oh, so like little kids.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes, unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. Now, I just want to point out that so far, Jack, the only thing we've heard that Diddy did during this was touch himself, and he needed IV fluids. How much was he masturbating during these?
Probably a lot. I'm guessing it's going to come out that he wasn't just masturbating, but he was getting enthusiastically participating too.
Well, rumor has it that among the evidence that they have is a shit ton of these videos. So,
well, I'm sure.
I have a feeling, yeah, we're gonna find out a lot more about that.
I just hope they leak out because it'll be hilarious.
Members and associates. Why is he the only one indicted?
Because everybody else rolled on him, probably.
Oh, I would be in a heartbeat. But I don't think any of these people should get off either. They were helping this happen.
Oh, they already got off, technically.
Well, yeah, I meant off legally.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
The other kind of get off that Kamala did.
Oh, yeah, that one.
See what I did? Brought that
the
back.
Slick Willie method.
Members and associates of the enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs. Hey, guys, if you stay at a fancy hotel, there's a chance you got some Diddy jizz on you.
Ew.
It's been reported that yeah, these people would go in there to get everything cleaned up after, Diddy left DNA everywhere. And that one time the hotel was so fucking trash they just paid out thousands and thousands of dollars. Whoopsie.
Gross.
How fucking well, I guess with the 1,000 bottles of lube they had, it probably got pretty messy in there.
It's like a slip and slide in there.
Yeah. Among other things, booking hotel rooms, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required free cough supplies, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens and lighting, cleaning the hotel room after the freak offs to try to mitigate room damage, arranging for travel for victims. That was nice of them.
For victims.
They didn't have to. This is for the women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Commercial sex workers and combs to and from the freak offs. Resupplying combs with requested supplies, delivering large sums of cash to combs to pay the commercial sex workers, and scheduling delivery of IV fluids. Where's he getting these IV fluids? It's not like something you can just go pick up at the corner market.
Oh, I bet you could get some. I don't think it's going to be that hard to get IVs. It's just saline.
In or about March 2024. Yeah, but a civilian just ordering a shit ton of IV fluids didn't raise any.
Dude, if you're rich enough, nobody asks questions.
Where are we? In or about March 2024, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles. Miami and Los Angeles. Law enforcement seized various free cough supplies. I have freak off supplies. Now I want to open a business. Including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. As I said to Jack before the stream, this doesn't prove anything. These were largely black people who went to these things. They were probably just not wanting to get ashy. I think people they're taking. You got a lot of black men and women in a room. They're gonna need some lotion, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Everybody like, oh, they were doing something nasty. No, they were just trying to stay smooth.
No, it looks like you could buy some IV stuff online.
Can you really?
Yeah.
That seems weird to me.
I mean,
but wait, is it from it's not like from Walmart. It's like a medical supply company, right?
I'm looking at Amazon, and you could buy a saline solution and the bags and the infusion. So the infusion equipment's only like $4.50. You could buy that shit in bulk.
And a civilian ordering that would raise an eyebrow with me.
You would think so, but they're busy looking at people that are buying like books that support Trump.
True, fair enough. Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in freak offs. Okay, I understand the physical abuse. And oh God, that came out wrong. I get beating them. Don't stop your sentence there, monkey. I understand how physical violence could coerce you into, or this says specifically, cause the victims to engage in these. I can't imagine somebody going, "You're fucking stupid," and me be like, "All right, put it in my butt." You know what I mean?
I mean, you're gay if you don't take it in the butt.
Right? Again, I'm not supporting anything you did here. It's just of those three, physical, emotional, and verbal abuse, I figured that the physical abuse would be the one that caused them to engage in it. Ladies, if somebody says, "Take it in your butt," or "You're gay," just go, "Fine, I'm gay," and walk away. I'm trying to help you out.
You know what I'm betting is they had a veterinarian order a bunch of this stuff.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, because it looks like it's easier to get it because some places apparently do require some kind of licensing, probably your medical license, but a vet would have a lot less problem.
That's kind of what I'm getting at when I ask the question of how they're getting this. Is it would raise red flags if I just went, I'm going to order a couple hundred bags of IV fluid.
Yeah, as opposed to like going up to some supply clerk and be like, "Here's $10,000. How much of this shit can you get me?" I'd be willing to bet that somebody knew somebody that had a hookup for IVs. It's probably a nurse or something like that that was either stealing it or buying it on the sly.
Where are we? Combs maintained control over its victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support, and by other coercive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating their appearance, monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances. He's a dirty pimp.
Yeah, basically.
During and separate from the freak-offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at time by their hair. These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal.
Was that before, during, or after the sex?
Yes.
Ah.
Tate's a sweetheart compared to this. Not if you've read everything that Tate did. There was just less lubricant involved. Where are we? Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihood, including if they resisted participating in freak-offs. Victims believed they could not refuse Combs' demands without risking their financial or job security or without repercussions in forms of physical or emotional abuse. And that's really where it gets into, you can't just say that these people were active participants. This isn't, hey, blow me or you don't get a job. This was blow me or you don't get a job and I'll beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
That is beyond coercion. Combs also used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recordings that he'd made during the freak-offs as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of the victims. It's nice to know that the FBI has new masturbatory material. I'm sure they're getting bored with what they already had.
Well, I mean, they got to get people to show up at Kamala's rallies somehow, and maybe they're just going to blackmail some singers into it. Maybe that's how they got Lil Jon.
There are so many singers who have been, and not just singers, people in all walks of media life who've been tied to Combs. It really does make me wonder who the victims are. And frankly, I hope they sue the fuck out of this guy and get all of his money while he's getting ass pounded in prison.
Yeah, well, he is super rich. So
yeah, he is.
I mean,
and with all this coming out, you could get paid.
Oh yeah, because you're talking like blackmail material.
Yep.
Maybe revenge porn if it ever leaks out. You know, I'm sure they could come up with 10 different things. Thank you, Frank. Festivities and other large events have stands that are pushing IVs just as a regular routine, like you without take supplements. Since he did concerts and such, he really easily could have a supplier for that. Oh, that's true. The medical tents at the concerts, he might have greased some wheels with some people that he knew there.
Yeah, but there should be an accounting for those things.
Well, I'm sure the feds are going to find that out.
Yeah.
Forensic accountants will find that in 10 minutes.
Faithless says if they're willing to take on the personal embarrassment. Sure. It's not going to make the trauma they went through any better, but the rest of their life could be a lot sweeter.
Yeah, and they'll get a big pile of money, and forever they could claim, well, it's from the trauma of being raped by Diddy or whatever.
Yeah. Members and associates of the Comb Enterprise, including Combs' personal, blah, 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 all the people before. Carried firearms. On one or more occasions, Combs himself carried and brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others. See, once again, this is different than #MeToo, because he was threatening these, if this is correct, threatening these women, either do it or I'll shoot you.
Yeah. And probably some of the males as well.
Well, that's a part that isn't getting as much play as I'm expecting it to eventually get. I don't think we're going to know the depths of the depravity because a lot of the victims are not going to want to be associated with this at all.
Yeah.
As I said, what Cat Williams brought up wasn't Diddy having sex parties where chicks were forced into having sex with sex workers. It was dudes having sex with Diddy and being blackmailed for that, or with other men.
Yeah. Which, I mean, for a hip hop artist is probably career ending.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
So I think there's a lot of them that we're never going to hear about because they're like, hell no, I'm not participating. That absolutely will destroy any kind of credibility I have in the community.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many of them would get subpoenaed or somebody's going to leak the tapes.
Probably a lot. Although I have a feeling because it's not like P. Diddy hasn't been literally filmed with the president of the United States, Barack Obama, literally getting thanked by Miss Kamala Harris. I think this is going to be Epstein, man.
I think he's going to get Epsteined, but
me
a
too.
lot of this is going to go away.
We're never going to see the Diddy client list.
Probably not, but it'd be interesting if, because he is a celebrity as opposed to just some random pervo, that somebody might get kind of curious and like their kid or somebody would want to know, and they'll make photocopies and they'll get leaked online somehow. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah. I think most of it, because it's not just singers, man.
Yeah.
I promise you it's not. Look, when you have two gay men like Diddy and Obama together, you know something freaky happened.
Do you think that Diddy saw Big Mike's dong?
I think Diddy played with Mike and Barack's penises. Just saying.
They were playing with each other's toys.
They were. Oh, where are we? Talking about the guns. Diddy himself carried and brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including victims of and witnesses to his abuse. In or about March 2024, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, law enforcement seized firearms, ammunition, including 3 AR-15s, with defaced serial numbers, as well as a drum magazine.
Did he have a layout of a school next to that? He'll actually get more time for the defaced serial numbers,
yes,
than he probably will for any of the other sex stuff.
There was a judge who ruled that it was unconstitutional to have laws against scratching off serial numbers. That got overturned, I want to say, by the Fourth Circuit, but don't quote me on that. I do know it was overturned on appeal. So, yeah, having 3 ARs with defaced serial numbers is like 10 years minimum on its own.
Yeah, the ATF gets a boner just hearing those words.
Yeah. Members and associates, blah, 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 enabled Combs' control over the victims by following his directions. Why aren't they indicted?
Because they all rolled, dude. None of those people make that much money.
Oh, Diddy was paying them well because it kept him quiet.
Yeah, but they're not making enough to go to federal pound me in the ass prison for him.
No, and if he's going away, they're not making that money anymore. So,
yep. So they're going to roll.
Following his directions regarding financial payments to the victims, advancing or suppressing victims' career opportunities. Wait, are you telling me the music industry is corrupt?
I know, I'm shocked.
What? But they've always been so kind to black people.
Yeah. Oh, this is just another case of black on black crime. Maybe we better ignore it.
Where are we? Acquiring the controlled substances used to keep his victims compliant. I'm very curious what drugs specifically they were. I don't know if it tells us any. I have not read through all of this. This may turn out to be the worst segment we've ever done because it could be boring as shit. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Hard to tell.
But reading the top of it, I don't remember them listing the drugs. Notice they listed the guns, or at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
They didn't have to say 3 AR-15s with the. They could have just said 3 guns with the serial numbers scratched out.
They could have, but it's scary AR-15s. Look, it was probably a bunch of party drugs, MDMA,
Probably
ecstasy, probably some ketamine or something. Typical party drugs that are going to make your morals incredibly flexible, maybe laced with something. Who knows?
Take
Could
that.
be a dozen things.
Take that in addition to the Conan O'Brien interview I was talking about, where he says gave him a bunch of alcohol. They were giving him a bunch of alcohol and drugs with it. He's lucky he didn't kill anyone.
I mean, we don't know that. There might be a couple bodies on this.
We do know about the one shooting that somebody else took the fall for when him and J-Lo were still together a long, long time ago. Where are we here? But I meant specifically with the drugs. Yeah, these are women nobody knows about. I mean, pimps always go for, oh, do you have family? Yes. Oh, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, do you have family that loves you?
Yeah, there you go. I wonder if Liza Blue ever went to a Combs party.
Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe she'll say she did know.
She came up when I was on the show with Mike the other day, and I hadn't even thought about her. Apparently, she is posting to Twitter again about her farming life and being a victim.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because she was a willing prostitute.
No, she's victimized by people pointing that out.
Members and associates of Combs at times witnesses violence towards the victims and the victims' injuries caused by him without intervening. Again, I point back to the Cat Williams stuff, because so far all of this is Combs. Nobody else is involved. You know what I mean?
People acquiring things that he told them to get.
Yeah, but no other celebrities' names are on here.
No,
there's no, hey, Usher was hanging out with him during these parties. I just find it hard to believe that there was nobody else there when he was doing this.
Those are going to be the future witnesses that get subpoenaed.
Instead, members and associates of the enterprise helped conceal the violence and abuse by, among other things, assisting Combs in monitoring and preventing victims from leaving locations such as hotels or Combs's residence. These occasions included instances in which a victim was required to remain in hiding, sometimes for several days, to recover from the injuries. Bro, you got all that lube and you're not using it? That's fucked up, man.
I think they mean like black eyes and choke.
Oh.
Not just a prolapsed anus.
I love that word for some reason. Prolapse. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise also assisted Combs in locating and contacting victims who attempted to flee his abuse. He had his own slave recovery unit.
Well, look, the Fugitive Slave Act apparently is still in effect in Combs' head.
Jesus fucking Christ.
If a white guy did this entire thing would be way bigger of a story.
I get that these people were working for him and they're like, oh, I got to get paid. I couldn't do it. I don't know that there's enough money for me to help track down a victim that this guy beat the fuck out of after forcing them to have sex they didn't want to have.
Well, I mean, that depends on how jaded you are at life, how big of an asshole you think that person is. Like, maybe it's some celebrity that you absolutely detest, or she's got a really whiny voice or something. I don't know.
Even then, I couldn't.
No, I don't think I could either, but I haven't seen the paycheck, so...
If I'm on Diddy's crew and I don't care how much you're paying, and I was, had a gun and saw him doing this, I would probably end up in the newspapers.
Yeah, because you disappeared.
It'd be like, this is the dude who put a bullet in him. I do not understand how you can be that big of a degenerate?
People have very flexible morals in the music industry and in Hollywood at large.
Look, I can't wrap my head around Diddy doing this to people in the first place. But you're not even the one doing it. This isn't for your sexual gratification. This isn't your freak. But you're helping that freak hide it.
I mean, maybe it is somebody's freak. They get off on covering up other people's kinky shit. I don't know. I don't know where he got these people.
When employees, witnesses to his abuse, or others threaten Combs' authority or reputation, Combs and members and associates of the enterprise engaged in acts of violence, threats of financial and reputational harm, and verbal abuse. I guess they're answering my question. These acts of violence included kidnapping and arson. Well,
I mean, that does kind of really put a good spin on things. Like, well, look, I'll release your kids if you shut the fuck up and come back. Oh, okay.
This is an interesting line. In addition, on multiple occasions, Combs threw both through both objects and people. He was throwing people.
Where? Like off a balcony or something?
As well as hit, dragged, choked, and shoved others. All right. When Combs' authority or reputation was threatened by the possibility of negative publicity or legal or law enforcement action. Oh, legal could be civil too. Okay.
Yeah.
Or law enforcement action against him, including in or about late 2023, following public allegations of Combs' crime. Combs and members of the members and associates of the enterprise pressured witnesses and victims, including through bribery, to stay silent and not. Oh, dude, man, did he just say, "Hey, I want to do all the crimes that are going to get me a long time in jail"?
Yes, apparently he saw Scarface and The Godfather, and he's like, "Those people are pussies."
Bribing witnesses, especially federal witnesses, not a good idea.
You would think so, but it seems to have worked for him for quite a while.
He bribed them not to report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. On phone calls, Combs and other members and associates, blah, 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 among other things, provided these victims and witnesses with false narratives of the event in an effort to conceal Combs' crimes. Combs caused these crimes to be recorded on at least. You recorded yourself bribing people?
I mean, that's not smart.
Okay, again, I'm not saying it's okay that he did, but I understand trying to bribe people. Why would you record it? Why would you make evidence for the DA, or in this case, the AG?
Well, he was probably jerking off to it. Like, yeah, you're my bitch.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you. The Rando Report. Diddy appeared on Dan Schneider's All That. I'm not shocked if he did.
Yeah, I mean, that would just be like a recruitment video for him.
How shocking. All right. From at least in or about 2008 through on or about the date of the filing of this indictment, P. Diddy, the defendant, and others known and unknown, being persons employed by blah, 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 described in paragraphs 6 through 12 of this indictment, knowingly combined, conspired, confederated, and agreed together and with each other to violate the racketeering laws of the United States. I mean, racketeering just means they got together and discussed it. Racketeering is basically conspiracy without actually speaking of the conspiracy. It's how they get mob bosses when the mob boss didn't actually say anything incriminating.
It was in the penumbra.
Yeah, it was in the mafioso penumbra. That part doesn't mean a whole lot. But it was Here we go. Through a pattern of racketeering activity, as the term is defined in Title 18, and consisted of multiple acts involving kidnapping, chargeable under the following provisions, blah, blah, blah. Multiple acts of arson. So remember all those fires that were like, why is everything catching on fire? Apparently it was Diddy.
Diddy likes flames.
Multiple acts of bribery. Multiple acts indictable under Title 18 related to tampering with witnesses. Oh, so that's just more of the bribery shit. Multiple acts of forced labor, multiple acts of sex trafficking, multiple acts of transporting and inducement to travel for purposes of prostitution, sex trafficking, and other illegal sexual activities. Multiple offenses involving possession with the intent to distribute or distribution of narcotics, including, oh, here we go, cocaine, oxycodone. Okay, right there. Oxycodone is not something that they're making on the street. That's prescription. Who's giving these people? This is one of those times, like, track down the doctor where this came from.
Oh, I'm sure they can.
Alprazolam, don't know what that is, and methylenedioxymethamphetamine. Wow.
Is that MDMA?
I believe so, yeah.
Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. Diddy was flaming on multiple levels, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, I'm leveling up. Not just your butthole, but burn your house down. Jesus.
Bromo 25 dimethylate. Fuck, I don't care. Gamma hydro. Fuck, don't care. And ketamine.
I knew ketamine would be in there.
Ketamine had to be in there. You got to have the party drug.
Yeah, Molly and ketamine are just big party drugs. So,
it was part of a conspiracy that Sean Combs, the defendant, agreed that a conspirator would commit at least 2 of the racketeering activities in the conduct of the affairs of Combs' enterprise.
You can pick from this list. It's a menu of crimes I want you to commit. You have to take 2.
Pick 2. I don't care. Either go burn someone's house down or beat a bitch up. I just need you to do something. And
you got to be involved.
Smile for the camera when you do it so that we can blackmail you as well. Thank you, Frank. Am I alone in not being shocked a rapper would be caught doing this stuff? You take violent, I think that's just a thing. Violent, degenerate criminals, make them rich and famous. What do you expect? Gangster rap shouldn't have ever been made popular. I don't think you can blame this on rap. And I mean, there's some horrible things about other people as well. I don't think this has anything to do with rap. And no, I'm not surprised by what we're hearing, but not because he's a rap artist or anything, but because he's in American media and they're all fucking degenerates.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to bet he was just a normal criminal type before, and then they turned him into a sex pest in Hollywood.
Kevin Spacey was a well-regarded actor who actually can act pretty well, who raped and then murdered a bunch of the victims.
Allegedly, I don't want to die.
We didn't have sex with him, so we're okay.
Yeah, we're not witnesses to anything.
I mean, this motherfucker was ass raping people. What was it? 4 different people that could have testified against him just die, Clinton style. And they're like, well, I guess there's nothing we can do about it now.
Maybe we should find out where Diddy was during that time.
No shit. Well, Jack, there's the how do I put it? The Cliff Notes versions of what he did.
Is there a list of things they seized from his place?
Not that I saw directly in the indictment.
No, okay. We know they seized like 1,000 tubes of lube.
I don't think they just have a rundown list. It would be like how we read it in there, like the AKs, because we do know they seized like 700 dildos, so that's got to be written in there somewhere.
Yeah. Dixie's saying that alprazolam is Xanax.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I mean, you could talk me into a lot of shit on Xanax because when you're on that shit, you just don't care. Like, whatever, bro. I'm gonna just lay here. Oh, Xanax, I miss you. I keep hoping to get seriously injured again, so I need an MRI so I can have some Xanax.
Wow.
I have never felt like that, and it was wonderful. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, Hollywood, or in this case, the music industry, once again proving that it's nothing but a bunch of fucking degenerates, and
Yep.
apparently they all fucking knew it.
Oh, of course. I'm sure the story got around quite a bit.
Thank you, FO. So you could say he was a professional rapist. Yes, a rapist. I've never understood the big deal with Diddy. I hate what he did to the Police song "Every Breath You Take" for that fat fuck who got shot.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I've always thought he was gay. Everybody being shocked away. He had sex with dudes. Like, yeah.
I always thought him and Jay-Z were gay, but apparently
Look at the
Jay-Z
little
likes
twink.
that dude, Beyonce.
He's a that dude Beyonce. Yeah. Don't get me started on that. We get in trouble when we talk about that ugly dude. She's not a dude. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
I need to see some evidence otherwise.
She has kids. So does Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
Good morning, Nuts. How you doing, sweetie?
Hey, Stargazer.
You mean Biggie? Yes, I mean Biggie. I've never thought that Sean Combs was a good rap artist. I don't understand the appeal of the guy. Never have. But even with all of that, I wouldn't think he was this, Jack.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked by this. It's very elaborate. I would have expected something like this from like Usher, because that dude just has a untrustworthy look to him.
Well, Usher, there's some stuff that's because him and P. Diddy are pretty close.
Oh.
Yeah, and there was a clip going around today. I think it was on Howard Stern, but don't quote me on that. But where he's talking about he went over to see Diddy and he was just like, I'm not really into all that. And he doesn't really elaborate on what it was, but in context with this, sounds like maybe he got invited to one of these parties and he was like, yeah, no, that's too freaky for me.
Yeah.
But they probably got a video of him butt fucking somebody, so he never said anything.
Or getting butt fucked by a male hooker.
Yeah. So they're like, nah, I'll just I'll say it was weird and not my scene.
It was a little too intense for my delicate sensibilities.
Usher was very young. Yeah, that's why I'm very curious what else they're gonna find out, because Bieber was 15.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be videos come out about a lot of people. Some of them are going to end up being underage, just statistically.
Well, again, I don't know how true any of this is, but there's video of way back when P. Diddy was with Jennifer Lopez. And they were hanging out with an underage chick.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's
that chick being like middle person muff diving on J-Lo while Diddy's slamming her in the booty.
There's rumors, and again, this part is just rumors. It's not in the indictment, that she was the underage girl was one of the people forced into one of these freak-offs.
Oh.
Yeah. Degenerate people exist everywhere, and when we find them and expose them, that's fine. But normally, Jack, everybody doesn't then come out and go, oh yeah, I knew he was doing all kinds of shit, beating women and threatening people and setting folks' houses on fire. Every time it's a celebrity, you have all these people who come out and like, yeah, I knew all about that.
Yeah. Well, again, it's celebrities are protected people. They're special. They have lots of money.
Yeah.
And they're sophisticated and they're very popular. So there are people that will go out of their way to clean up the messes just because this person's famous.
I don't get that. And people got to stop treating celebrities like this, man.
Yeah, they should be treated like the shameful prostitutes they are.
They're court jesters. They're the lowest of the low.
Oh, they're worse. Court jesters were at least amusing. Most of these people are talentless hacks.
Acting, while I enjoy movies and stuff, Jack, should not be held in the esteem that it is.
Yeah, I agree completely. This cult of celebrity is what creates this degeneracy. Let's it fester.
How many of you guys know the name of any actor of the Shakespearean period?
Oh, William Shakespeare.
No. Actors, not the writers.
No, he was an actor.
I didn't realize. See, and I have read a lot of Shakespeare. I didn't know he actually did any of the acting.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Nope.
There you go. Because they didn't used to put them up on pedestals.
No, they were treated like dirty prostitutes.
Because they are.
Yeah.
Yes, Nuts. He beat up a girl in a hallway, and it's on film. I mean, there's no question that he beat a woman. I mean, it's on film, and he's not in the NFL, so chances are he's not just going to get away with it.
It wasn't Rihanna. So,
and it wasn't one of these ones. Well, even the Rihanna one, if you look at what actually happened there, she assaulted him first. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's one of them hate facts. Women are always the victim, monkey.
Yeah, this woman didn't do anything. She just tried leaving, and he beat the fuck out of her.
She tried leaving without permission.
Dangerous, thank you. The indictment is like how Epstein apparently provided girls for nobody. By the way, what if Trump's October surprise is a video of Kamala at Diddy's party? These people are all sick bastards. I think the videos, thank you for the donation. The videos that were taped by Diddy here, I don't think we'll ever see those. If we saw any video of like Kamala with Diddy, it's going to be at a rally or a upscale party, Jack, before the real party at the freak off later.
Yeah, the one where they had their clothes on and there wasn't any blow around.
Yeah, this is like Dennis's collection, not not the stuff everybody else is going to see.
Because of the implication.
Because of the implication. Are these girls in danger? No. I fucking love that episode. You know what I love most about that episode is actually the cruise ship episode where he goes to explain to Dee what the implication is, and she immediately gets it.
Yeah, she's done it before.
Yes. If you guys don't watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you really should.
It's a great show. Now, I think this is going to be very similar to the Epstein thing, where there'll be a lot of speculation. They're going to keep it real hush-hush. He's going to end up dead, and it'll just go away.
There is no way the people in his orbit at least hadn't heard about stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of his inner circle for sure were in on it. But people around him probably knew too, but it's that code of silence in Hollywood.
Yeah. And that's something we've got to figure out, because often it involves children.
Yeah. Well, Hollywood's run by pedophiles. And apparently a lot of our government is too, because they're helping cover this shit up.
This should be a scandal. And am I the only one who feels like it's not even really being treated like a scandal?
No, it's being treated like a sideshow thing. You know, like, oh, look at that over there. That's interesting. Okay,
yeah.
After this commercial break, we're going to look at a monkey jumping through a jump rope, double Dutch style.
This is a man who is on video beating the ever-loving fuck out of a woman, and there's video of him with former President Obama.
Yep.
There's
he's been
tweets.
Apparently doing this for at least 16 years.
Yeah. 2008 is the furthest back that goes.
Yeah. So I'd be willing to bet they have stuff that's older than that too, but they're more outliers and probably too hard to track down witnesses.
Jiraiya says, remember how shocked everyone was about Weinstein? Me neither. They were all like, yeah, we knew. But they still treated it like a scandal. I mean, the whole Me Too thing blew up out of the Weinstein allegations. So everybody was writing about it and talking about it, like, oh my God, I can't believe how these women were treated by this guy. There was a lot of hand wringing. Everybody's just like, yeah, dildos. It's so weird to me.
Yeah, this is, really life altering for a lot of victims. And no one seems to care.
Yeah, we're just at a place where it's like, yeah, that's expected. I don't know. And again, like I said, the Cat Williams stuff is really what's been in my head since all of this, since the indictment. His allegations weren't taken very seriously. And he probably did a lot of harm to his own career. He doesn't care. He's made most of his money he's going to anyway.
Yeah.
But he put himself out there and he's got nothing to gain or lose with that. And if you look at what he said, there's a whole lot that this indictment doesn't even come close to.
Well, it'll be amended later down the line once they've gone through more of the tapes and stuff like that.
I hear you. But again, the additional people involved is what is catching my eye about what's missing.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like you got to go too far into any of the tapes to see, who's there. Like, oh, look, there's Usher, but fucking Justin Bieber. I always knew that kid was gay. I just didn't know it was forced on him. Now I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't. He's Canadian.
Clearly, it's just not as big a deal as Me Too because he's black. I haven't seen anybody bring up race at all, which is also kind of weird because typically you would see, oh, they're trying to bring down one of ours from some dipshits.
Well, we haven't seen that yet.
Not yet. It will come. Jamil Hill will say something stupid, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But instead, it's all just like, huh? Oh, look, another fucking weirdo in this space.
Well, look at how many people are trying to normalize pedos.
Yeah. Oh, man. I do feel bad for these women, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, it isn't a completely different thing than most of the Weinstein allegations, which were, he said, if you blow me, you'll get a part in a movie. And she's like, well, I really want a part in a movie.
Yeah.
These people were getting beat. Their homes are getting burned down. They're getting guns put in their face. That is not even close to the same thing. Yeah, although it's Jewish. I'm sure Sneeko will tell us about how, pimps used to be looked up to.
Yeah, probably.
Pimps used to be well regarded in our society. What?
What neighborhood did you live in?
Were you watching like Starsky and Hutch and think that that's what pimping was really like? Sugar Bear, for those of you who never saw the show. I don't think they ever actually called him a pimp, but he was clearly a pimp.
Yeah, the implication was there. They probably couldn't say the word.
Pimp of the year. He's the pimp of the... Hey, you've seen I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. If you guys have never seen it, at the very least, look up the Pimp of the Year thing.
Do you think that P. Diddy banged Snoop Dogg?
It's possible.
Do you think he made Dr. Dre and Snoop make out? Is that why Warren G died?
Probably. Warren probably said no, so they shot him.
I mean,
Black Romeo, I hadn't even put that together yet, but you're right. Terry Crews did talk about this stuff, and they ignored him during Me Too.
Yep, because he was a man.
He was a man who said a man was hitting on him and being inappropriate with him. And they're like, just take it. Which is what white women say when black men have a real problem.
Look, we have a real problem with not recognizing that men can be victims of sexual assault.
Yes.
And this is going to a lot of that, especially in the black community. They do not like to talk about somebody taking the passive role in anal sex. So if somebody was drugged and then taken advantage of, and it was filmed, they definitely do not want that out.
I refuse to believe that Snoop participated in this. Oh. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know who all would be involved. There are a lot of people who've been happy to be attached to to P. Diddy, and that I'm skeptical of all of them.
Yeah, you have to kind of go through the catalog of celebrities that have hung out with him and think, were they one? You're going to wonder, because they're not going to release that information unless it gets leaked out like a trans shooter manifesto.
Somebody just brought up Eminem, and it really would make sense, because I almost called him the F word. That gay little dude, I've always wondered how he got famous, and if he took the Kamala route, it makes sense. It sure as fuck isn't his rapping, because his rap is trash. Brendan Fraser lost his career for years for speaking out. Yeah.
Because Hollywood is controlled by Satanist pedophiles. I'm telling you.
Corey Feldman has named the people.
Yeah.
And all anybody will ask him is, did Michael Jackson ever touch you? They don't care about the ones who actually did it. The LA prosecutor went after Jackson instead of, the people that the kid who got raped named.
Yeah. He has always blamed the death of Corey Haim on being raped repeatedly by Hollywood people.
Yeah, one of the people that Corey Feldman has named is Charlie Sheen.
Oops.
Oopsie. But nobody gave a shit about him until he got a little too high one day, and then like, okay, now he's got to go away. Not for butt fucking a child. Nah, don't pay any attention to that. Anyway, I miss wholesome celebrities like Bob Crane.
A sexual degenerate whose early advancements in videotape. Yeah, I got my own home studio.
Who did he blame? The only name I heard was Sheen. There's a producer that he named. I don't remember the guy's name.
Was he one of them that blamed Bryan Singer?
Maybe.
Because there were a couple allegations against him.
Yeah. But yeah, Corey Haim kills himself, and Feldman has always said that it was the trauma that they went through. But don't worry, guys. Nothing to see here in Hollywood. You should totally take your voting advice from these people. Don't remember Vote or Die? Vote or Die. Who was that? Who knew he was being literal? That was P. Diddy's thing. Vote or Die. Snoop did Girls Gone Wild. Did he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he was a host on there or something.
I wouldn't be shocked. I don't have a problem with Girls Gone Wild, other than I always thought it was weird that dudes were that enamored with boobs. I like boobs, but
well, I mean, a lot of that was pre-internet, but even then, it wasn't that hard to get porn.
Paying $25 for a video so you can watch chicks you're never gonna look at flash their boobs.
Yeah, and it seems like part of that bro culture.
I guess. All right, I don't have much more to say about P. Diddy other than, yeah, we do have a serious problem, and it's in our entertainers, and the media lets him get away with it, and nobody's really going to go down for this except Sean, which he deserves to, don't get me wrong, but we know there were others involved.
Yeah.
Every one of those people that's listed there as a co-conspirator, the unnamed in the indictment there who helped him get away with this, I'm okay with cutting them a deal, but their deal should be, okay, it's 10 years instead of life.
Yeah, they should definitely get prison time.
And instead, they're just, and his associates, and hopefully other indictments come out, but I doubt they will. He's too ingrained.
Yeah, it depends on how the election goes.
Yeah. Wait, people paid and didn't just watch the commercial? Yes, people actually bought those. That guy became like a multi-millionaire on that shit.
Yeah, he got a bunch of allegations slapped on him too, which, let's be honest, probably a lot of regret sex.
Probably. To be fair, sounds like a lot of people have already gone down. Stop it. Dangerous.
He's not wrong.
But yeah, no, people paid for it so they could see the nipple. Because that apparently that's like worth $25.
No,
I don't get it.
Columbus has an ordinance that you can't show nipples after midnight, so all the strippers have pasties on.
Right.
And it looks like a bunch of survivors of breast cancer jiggling their goods. And I don't know, maybe they get better tips that way, but it looks sad.
To me, I again, especially in today's age, I don't understand people who pay for this stuff. It's free all over the internet.
Yeah, that's why I don't get like chat rooms and stuff like that where people are paying. Like, there's plenty of degenerate shit out there. You just gotta look.
I could at least see, like a strip club. You got a bar there. You got naked ladies that are in person. It's not my scene, but at least I understand it. You're talking about people like, look, there's a picture on my screen. Okay. I wonder if these people, like, instead of getting a pet, just watch videos of pets. That way they like, it's just like having one.
Yeah, I was golfing yesterday with Dorf.
Okay, guys, we're wrapping up here. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very kind. Jack, anything you want to shill out?
I'll drop a link to a cool video. As always, thank you so much for all the support you guys give us. It does keep the show going because we're poor, and we do this for tips. We're like dancing monkeys. But thank you guys for all the donations. You guys are awesome.
Mess says people paid $5 a minute for phone sex too. Yeah, I don't understand phone sex.
No.
I have a wife, and even if I try, it just sounds so weird.
Yeah, I knew a chick that did phone sex stuff, and she was a troglodyte.
I'm putting it up in you. No, you're not. You're way on the other side of the fucking city. What are you talking about? I can feel you. No, you can't. Shut up. You're weird. But at least then they were talking to somebody who was reacting in live. And it's the one part that I can kind of see, like if you're on a one-on-one with a cam chick. I still don't get it because there's naked people all over.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal. Maybe it's because I'm cheap.
It makes more sense to me than people who like pay for OnlyFans and are watching cheap videos of some whore with bad lighting.
Yeah,
and a nice cesarean scar.
Yeah, and you like end up buying her a car or something like some of these poor slobs do. Like, dude, get some self-esteem.
It's just weird to me. I don't get it. I like money more than that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't understand people.
If I had enough money that I would pay for something like a cam chick, I would just buy a prostitute. You know what I mean? And then at least you're going to get touched.
Yeah.
Buy a clean one. You don't want to buy a Diddy hoe.
Yeah. I mean, clearly.
They're going to be too slippery to hold on to. And I hate lighting fires. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Guys, take care of yourselves. We love you. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Here's a song at the end of the Diddy show. Unlike him, we'll let you go.